Elizabeth I, the Ginger Queen who ruled the world. Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen. Gloriana, Good Queen Bess. She had many names, but perhaps her greatest title should simply be this, the Ginger Queen, because Elizabeth didn't just have red hair, she turned it into her dynasty, her symbol, her weapon. She took what might have been seen as a quirk of genetics and made it the blazing flame of her reign. So today, let's dive into how Elizabeth's copper crown shaped her life, her politics, her image, and her legacy, making her the ultimate ginger icon of history. A ginger birthright. Elizabeth was born in 1533 at Greenwich Palace, the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. From the beginning she stood out. Chroniclers noted her reddish-gold hair inherited from her father. But this wasn't just hair. For Elizabeth, her ginger locks were a birthright. They tied her to her father, the fiery-haired king, at a time when her legitimacy was shaky. After Anne Boleyn's execution, Elizabeth could have been forgotten as just another discarded Tudor child. But that copper hair was proof. She was Henry's daughter. She carried his fire. As a child, her tutors described her as sharp, quick, and serious. But even then, her appearance marked her as exceptional. Pale skin, reddish gold hair, piercing eyes. She looked every inch a Tudor. Ginger in a hostile world. Elizabeth's teenage years were anything but safe. She was declared illegitimate, shuffled between households, even briefly imprisoned. In these dangerous years, her ginger identity gave her a visible connection to her father's line. To supporters, she looked like Henry. She carried the flame. But it also made her a target. In a court full of dark-haired figures, Elizabeth's hair marked her as unique. Foreign ambassadors commented on it. Rivals noted it. She couldn't fade into the background. Her appearance made her unforgettable. This was the beginning of Elizabeth's understanding of power, that image mattered, that what people saw could be just as important as what they heard. The ginger crown ascends. In 1558, Elizabeth became queen. She was 25 years old, single, and faced with ruling a fractured country. She had no husband, no children, no dynasty. So she created one, built not on flesh and blood, but on image. Her fiery hair became part of her crown. In her coronation portraits, artists exaggerated the copper brilliance, making her locks glow like fire. This wasn't vanity, it was propaganda. Her hair symbolized youth, vitality, legitimacy, and power. At a time when female rulers were doubted, Elizabeth used her appearance to stand out, to command, to intimidate. Her hair became not just fashion, but politics. By the 1580s, Elizabeth was the centre of a full-blown cult of personality. Poets compared her to the sun glowing with light. Courtiers copied her style, dyeing their hair red or wearing wigs in shades of gold and copper to imitate her. Elizabeth leaned into it. She began wearing elaborate wigs, always fiery red. Even as she aged, she refused to let the flame dim. Her portraits show her in dazzling costumes, her copper hair blazing beneath crowns and jewels. The message was clear. The Queen was eternal. Her body might age, but her flame would never go out. Elizabeth's red hair wasn't just vanity, it was propaganda. To her people it was a crown of fire, showing she was divinely chosen, radiant, untouchable. To foreign powers it was a warning. England's queen burned brightly, fiercely, and would not be extinguished. To rivals it was a weapon. Against Mary Queen of Scots, who had auburn hair herself, Elizabeth's fiery image became part of their rivalry. 2 red heads, 2 queens, 1 throne. Elizabeth's hair even played into her Virgin Queen branding. Red hair symbolised youth and vitality. By presenting herself with eternally glowing copper locks, she sent a message. She was beyond age, beyond decay, beyond ordinary womanhood. The Darnley portrait, 1575, shows Elizabeth with her natural red hair loose and radiant, framing her pale face. The Armada portrait, 1588, depicts her as the conqueror of Spain, her copper hair glowing beneath a bejewelled crown, her fire symbolising England's triumph. The Rainbow portrait, circa 1600, shows her in her 60s, but her wig is still flame red, her face painted youthful. She is the eternal ginger goddess, holding a rainbow glowing with undimmed fire. Elizabeth turned art into propaganda, her hair into a symbol of eternal rule. Even in old age, Elizabeth refused to let her flame go out. Her ladies reported that her wigs were always shades of copper and gold. She banned mirrors from her chambers so no one would see her without her crown of fire. When she died in 1603, she was remembered not as an old woman, but as the fiery-haired Virgin Queen, radiant to the last. Her legacy cemented ginger hair as royal, powerful, iconic. To this day, when we picture Elizabeth I, we picture the red hair, blazing again.